Hello, friends. My name is Marilou. I am the co-owner of RDR Wellness, and I wanted to share a little bit about how the RDR sounds, specifically the PTSD, as most people know it, how the PTSD sounds worked for me. I am a veteran. I've been in for over 30, going on 31 years. And after my tour to Afghanistan in 2008, uh, I would say I had. I mean, at that time, I didn't know what it was, but I was angry. I drank a lot. I was very temperamental, and there was there was this internal battle, this internal fight, and that was a good thing because if there was no battle between wanting to wanting to live a quality life, wanting to live a happy life with the life that I was living, I definitely would have attempted taking my own life a lot sooner. The I think the issue is you get put into that fight or flight mode, which is a good thing for soldiers in combat. However, you don't get taken out of it where it's healthy. You're kind of put there into that high alert, um, reactionary, responsive mode, but your brain, particularly the hippocampus and the amygdala, doesn't really get a chance to adapt after you no longer need that fight or flight mode. So that's generally where what we've understood and what we've learned about the sounds and PTSD. And the reason we created the a veteran program specifically for the PTSD sound is because as a veteran, a few things happen. You don't really understand what's going on. You have that soldier mindset of you gotta you you gotta push through. You've gotta move forward. The problem with that is you don't get a chance to interact with your thoughts. You're on autopilot. Um, and so with the sounds, you actually what we say is you grow out of PTSD with sounds because what happens is the sounds are playing, and we have music that actually has built-in RDR sounds, and the reason for that is because you can play it in the background. And what happens in the brain is you start engaging and interacting with that temperament, with that inability um, to to be in public. And with the sounds is you kind of slow things down. You're still reactionary, you're still responsive, but you slow things down so that you can actually kind of look at it from a different perspective. And once you kind of have that perspective, you start having this conversation with yourself with, wait a minute, maybe this is what's going on. And you're a little bit more patient with yourself. You're a little bit more patient um, with frustration and with anxiety. That's one of the greatest parts about the sounds, is that it's a gradual thing, and it's happening within your brain, within your body, within your existence, and you're aware of it. And so when we say grow out of it, is you have this realization, you have this self-realization, right? And then the next phase is that you start having this dialogue with yourself. And after that, you are able to verbalize it with yourself, and then eventually with someone you trust. When you're able to talk about it, it comes out of you, and you're able to see it from the outside. And so when you talk about it with somebody, inevitably you're open to also getting help. That's the phase. You get help, and then you're aware, and then you're open to solutions. And so that's the critical aspect of what we mean by what we mean when we say you grow out of PTSD. That's particularly the reason why there's specific sounds for the various conditions. And we have the sound program for veterans, specifically for situations like that, where the family or the friends or the case manager can play the sounds in the background, so that there's that self-realization, right? You're not jolted out of what appears to be confusion and temperament, and being on autopilot. That's just a little bit about the PTSD sound. That's a little bit about me, how I grew out of PTSD, and how I use the sounds. Awareness is really, really, really important. If you want to talk further, reach out to us, reach out to me, or go to the website, get the app, rdrcenter.com. Let's get better. Let's live. Let's enjoy life. Let's be aware. Let's be present. You deserve it, and the world needs you.